As we began, the Big Ten season started with Purdue playing Wisconsin. A road win for the Boilermakers gave them the season's first conference win. But a very different Badgers team ends the conference season against Purdue tonight. Will the Badgers avenge a 2-month-old loss? We'll find out next. If you wanted to be a part of the student section tonight at Mackey Arena, you needed to get here earlier than this, like around noon today. This sold-out house is rocking on BTN for the final Big Ten game of the year. And a big one it is from West Lafayette as Wisconsin takes on Purdue. Why is this big? Because neither team knows what seed they are in next week's Big Ten tournament. 3, 4, and 6 are the open slots still in the standings as we enter the final game of the regular season. Good evening, everybody. Alongside John Crispin, I'm Kevin Kugler. The stakes are big for the Big Ten tournament. There's no question about that. But, John, it's even bigger for the NCAA tournament for these two teams.
Well, both the teams you're going to see here tonight have done enough to get to the NCAA tournament. Where they fall in terms of seeds, that's still to be determined. What I would say, though, is more important is how much confidence you have going into not only the Big Ten tournament, but also the NCAA tournament. These are two teams that can make a lot of noise in March.
When you talk to Purdue head coach Matt Painter and he talks about difficult matchups, he's like everybody else in the Big Ten, concerned about Nigel Hayes.
Oh, Nigel Hayes is a tough one to match up with because you don't know how to cover him. Do you cover him with a guard? Do you match up with a big? He'll abuse you either way. He can space you out. He also does a great job getting to the foul line. He can single-handedly win games with his ability to get fouled. That's something that he's going to try to do tonight. And if you got somebody on the other end to block shots, also make baskets, it's going to be A.J. Hammonds. A.J. Hammonds, in my opinion, is not only Defensive Player of the Year, he's also first-team All-Big Ten. He has done enough to show us that not only can he dominate this level, he should be playing at the next as well.
Bronson Koenig and Nigel Hayes have come into town with one purpose, to close the season with a win. Standing in their way, Raphael Davis and A.J. Hammonds. They want to close out Senior Day with a win. A big one next on BTN. Basketball on BTN is brought to you in part by State Farm. We exist to assist. Kevin Kugler, John Crispin, back Mackey Arena. This place is loud. It is rocking. The final Big Ten game of the year, and the atmosphere in here is tournament-esque. It is fired up for the final regular season game in here as we check our Buffalo Wild Wings starting lineups. And Ethan Happ, in the very first meeting between these two teams, only had 2 points, 1 for 8 shooting.
Well, I think Ethan Happ's going to have a great game. I also think he's going to go right at the shot blocker, A.J. Hammonds. But Vito Brown is a guy, if he's able to space out, make jump shots, it changes how you defend this team.
And for the Purdue Boilermakers, our Buffalo Wild Wings starting lineup, Vince Edwards making his 35th consecutive start tonight.
Vince Edwards is kind of the X factor in every single game he plays. If he can get things going from a playmaker, slasher standpoint, they can be very effective. It also opens up opportunities in the paint.
He's done that over the last 3 games, over 14 points per game for Vince Edwards. Matt Painter loves that kind of production, seeking his school record 17th home win this season. And if they win, it'll be just the 13th time that they've won 24 games in the 117-year history of Purdue. Meanwhile, Greg Gard, we talked with him earlier, and we found out he applied for a job earlier this week. It's the job as the main man at Wisconsin.
I told him I applied too. I don't think he's too worried.
Well, here's what's at stake. Wisconsin, the 3 seed with a win, the 6 seed with a loss. Purdue, the 4 seed with a win, the 6 seed with a loss. In other words, a win gets you a double bye, and that's the biggest key. That means you don't play until Friday.
Yeah, bottom line, everything you just said, you win, you get yourself a double bye. That's 1 less game. It's also 1 less risk in terms of a potential loss.
Purdue will start with the basketball. And here we go. The final game of the regular season is underway. Raphael Davis around to Vince Edwards, lobs it down to A.J. Hammonds, going to work with a 2-hand flush.
Well, that's one way to start. And I felt as if this Wisconsin team was going to be able to keep that from happening, which means 3-quarter front, backside help. That time the help was late. It led to a dunk.
Zach Showalter trying to find some room. Going to work inside, backs it out to Showalter. The open 3, a little bit strong, and the rebound kicked around. Diving for it is Swanigan from his seat, able to save it for Purdue. Pull-up jumper a little bit short, and there's Happ battling in there for the rebound. How does he handle the physicality of Hammonds and Haas after a struggle in the very first game of the year.
You got to win the position battle. And the position battle means you play defense early, you get to the spot, you stay between the ball and the basket, all that stuff, all the fundamental things you got to do right. Otherwise, it's going to be a brutal night.
Hayes on the wing for three, and Nigel Hayes gives Wisconsin the lead.
I want to get back to that point, though. For Ethan Happ, you have to defend early, and that means jump to the ball. You cannot get face cut, which will give up an easy post touch, and post touches lead to baskets when you're going against guys like Isaac Haas and A.J. Hammonds.
Rayfeld Davis picked up by Happ on the switch. Now Swanigan will lob inside. Right back it goes to Biggie, and Swanigan with the two.
And that's clearly something Wisconsin's going to do. They're going to sag off of Biggie Swanigan, forcing a double down in the post, trying to get the ball out of the paint. But if he can knock down that shot, that painter's going to have a happy night.
Shown some comfort level on the perimeter this year, has Swanigan, especially of late. As Vito Brown has also shown some comfort level on the perimeter. He never attempted a three in his career before this year. That's his 26th made three of the season.
He's been very confident with that shot, and rightfully so. You see, he practices it a lot. He understands that's going to be a key component to this offense.
No doubt he's playing the best basketball of his career right now as P.J. Thompson peering inside for Hammonds. Hammonds, look at the defenders swarming around him, and he's still going to go to the line.
Well, the key is going to be to keep him from getting that touch. If he gets that type of position close to the block and you allow a post-entry pass, you're going to be in trouble. There's no way around it. Look, it's not as if it's going to get any easier in a few minutes when Isaac Haas comes off the bench. You have to take that away early.
Top two scorers in the league if you were to average it out over the full 40 minutes of playing time. Of course, Hammonds and Haas split time in there. Hammonds a little bit more in the post as he'll step up and rattle the first one out. Hammonds on the year 72% at the line.
And people say, look, why don't they play 40 minutes? Well, good luck playing 40 minutes in the Big Ten and bringing that kind of production consistently. That's where there's such a threat together. I mean, there's no let-up at all when Isaac Haas comes into the game. And you got to remember, Isaac Haas started this season. He was the one that got things going. If it's not for the competition that Isaac Haas brought, A.J. Hammonds might not be what he is this year.
What he is this year is a first-team all-conference caliber player.
Oh, he is. He is, without a doubt. I also think he's Defensive Player of the Year because of how he changes the game. And just because he doesn't have the shot blocking stats doesn't mean he's not changing all three shots. Just keeping easy shots away from the basket.
Happ going to work with a shot clock winding down, nowhere to go. Happ found some room with one on the shot clock. That's something he didn't do in the first meeting.
Yeah, well, the thing he didn't do was be aggressive. Attack, go right at the shot blocker, especially down late shot clock situations. You've got to take that shot.
So difficult to compare that game December 29th with this game because both of these teams very different right now as they force the turnover by Hammonds in post.
And this is what you like to see from Ethan Happ. Good patience. There you see the good footwork spin. Comes back to the left hand off the glass. And for A.J. Hammonds that time, they brought the double. The double came from Bronson Koenig. He was on P.J. Thompson. Looks as if they're going to give up that long three. Trying to force the ball back out of the paint.
Brown, screen, Nigel Hayes with the bounce down the baseline. Happ's reversal won't go, and Swanigan the rebound.
Well, the only reason he had to shoot a reverse was because A.J. Hammonds is going to block that shot.
To your point earlier, didn't get a block, but he changed the shot as Swanigan tries the three, and Showalter with a rebound. Koenig on the push to Vito Brown. Wisconsin 3 for 5 from the floor to start this ball game.
And that's where I want to see him go. Right there, Nigel Hayes. An ISO opportunity against young Caleb Swanigan. He gets the shot to go. Now, what that does, it forces the defense to respect the jumper. And when you respect the jumper, Nigel Hayes does such a good job getting into the paint, up fakes, getting to the foul line, which not only gets you points, it puts starters on the bench.
Hammonds, the deep two is good. That range that A.J. Hammonds has shown this year, key for him this season and in his future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd love to see what he can do, have an entire offseason, making a living. Being a professional basketball player means you put the time and effort in full time. And I think he will benefit greatly from that, particularly with that shot that he's started to develop.
Showalter off the fake. The bounce to Hayes is taken away by Edwards. Edwards on the run with Davis. Back to Edwards. Somehow caught it. Got the shot up. Hammond's tip won't go. Rebound kicks out. Now Davis bounces to Hammonds for the plus.
You see the finish, but what you don't realize is that play was kept alive because of the way A.J. Hammonds ran the floor. He had a tip jam opportunity that kept the ball alive. Ball swings around and comes right back to him.
Happ aggressive again on the take.
Wow.
Fake by Happ.
Wow, that's the footwork we talk about. Look, we've said it at nauseam. I mean, look, he's got great footwork. Yeah, he's very good in the post. Well, he just did that against one of the best defenders in the country. And by the way, he's a freshman.
Freshman has grown up a lot since December 29th as the three is good from P.J. Thompson. Good start to this ball game, even at 12. Both teams shooting over 60% from the floor to start this game. Gauging, nowhere to go. Now Nigel Hayes finds Happ again with 10 to shoot. Happ going to work against Hammonds, and he went over the opposite shoulder and got the easy deuce.
I really like the fact that he is being aggressive, and he's calm about it. He's not pounding his chest. He's not going crazy. He's just doing work.
1 for 8 in the first meeting. 3 for 4 already tonight for Happ. Baseline got open for a moment for Rayfield Davis, and it's out of bounds to Wisconsin. Timeout on the floor.
Yeah, you have to like the energy, the effort from A.J. Hammonds. He keeps this play alive, trying to get the tip jam, then seals, holds his seal, receives it, and finishes.
Wisconsin with a 14-12 lead early on, 13:34 remaining in the first half. And you know, Wisconsin football is known for jump around. I guess you could call this a turnaround for Wisconsin basketball.
I see what you did right there. Yeah. That's pretty good.
11 of their last 12 in the win column, 13-5 under Greg Gard, who we joked about it earlier, but he did officially apply for the now open job at Wisconsin. This has to do with state laws. You have to have it open. You have to interview a certain amount of people. Greg Gard, I would say, is the odds-on favorite to be the new head coach after the interim tag will be removed, I would guess, in the next couple of weeks.
Look, one of the most important things an athletic director can do is identify not just what works, but who we are. And what are we at Wisconsin, and then what works. And I think you figured out that the structure, the swing, the win with less mentality, that works. And eventually you get talent like a Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, and you go to a couple Final Fours. Greg Gard is the guy.
Alex Hill with Cannon, Khalil Iverson, Jordan Hill on the floor. Shot clock at 2, shot clock at 1. Koenig has to launch. Wild shot won't hit rim, and it's a shot clock violation. Johnny Hill out there helping the defensive effort. Dakota Mathias, Isaac Haas all on the floor for Purdue.
And that's a good play out of the timeout. Obviously, Greg Gard wants to get something better out of the timeout, but at the same time, defense was set. Defense came out ready to play. Nothing easy on that possession. Ball never really got into an attacking position.
Johnny Hill accelerates to Dakota Mathias, and Purdue down a pair. Going to work in the half court. Here's Edwards. Pops up for the 3 and splashes it home. Purdue on top.
And that may be a shot that you have to live with. And that may sound crazy to some Wisconsin fans, but you may have to live with that shot. You have to take away easy post opportunities with Isaac Haas down there on Alex Hill and Cannon. And just hope that Purdue can miss some perimeter jump shots.
Will Iverson lobs it down to the post. Nice catch by Nigel Hayes. The finish and the foul.
And he's the kind of guy, I mean, you look at the size, the body, the experience. You've got to foul him hard enough where he can't get the shot up. And there's an art to that. It doesn't mean hack. It doesn't mean just hammer him. Just wrap him up. Don't let him get the shot up. You can't let him. He's going to get positioned like that. You know he likes to get to the foul line. Make him earn it.
This is attempt number 223.
That's ridiculous.
On the year. That, as you may guess, leads the league.
And look, I don't care what people are saying about, oh, well, the fouls have been called. The whistle's been blown a lot this year. No, he earns every foul he gets. There have been some games where he went to the foul line 26 times. Yeah, I can see opponents not liking that. He is tough to stop.
Never heard of an opponent not liking a foul call against them. Davis, the entry pass inside. Tough catch for Hill. 6 to shoot for Purdue. Here's Davis on the attack. Gets all the way inside, and Khalil Iverson swats it out of bounds. 1 on the shot clock for Purdue. And a timeout's going to be used by the Boilermakers. Purdue with 1 second on the shot clock. Vince Edwards with the deep 3. Finding the range for Purdue. They take the regular season, and they come storming back to take the tournament title. Next week, the Big Ten men's basketball tournament gets underway. We know our Wednesday, Illinois and Minnesota will tip things off at 4:30 Eastern. We'll tip things off 7 o'clock Eastern on BTN with Nebraska and Rutgers. But this is into tonight's game. This can certainly change. 3 not set, 6 not set, 4 not set on this tournament bracket right now.
Yeah, the different scenarios are crazy. I'm just happy we're down to 1 game left. I can actually follow, but there's been too many. I can't keep up.
With the shot clock expiring, and Dakota Mathias with a 3.
I did not think there was a chance they were going to get off a shot like that.
They're checking to make sure he did get it off in time.
So you got to check to make sure the clock did start. It did. I mean, he steps right into it. They did not get it off. So the crowd here is not going to like it, but we can assure you that, look, they're going to get it right. The clock is at 0. The ball is still in his hands. No way around it. Great shot by Dakota Mathias. You know, the thing is, silver lining here, glass half full. Getting Dakota Mathias to knock down a shot is key for the Boilermakers. He's been the guy to be able to make plays from the perimeter. Take so much pressure off the bigs.
Oh, he's got back-to-back games in double figures. Only the second time in his career he's been able to do that. You see the shot clock at 0 well before he releases that one. This will be an easy look for our crew. Good crew tonight, by the way. Terry Weimer, Mike Eads, Steve McJunkins.
You see these guys every single night. They work so hard. Yep, crowd not liking it. I mean, how do you feel? Look, you know you made the right call. And the entire crowd is going nuts.
Luckily, the folks at home, I'm sure, are calm, cool, and collected. Because they had the benefit of the replay. Purdue fans at home are saying, yes, that's exactly the right call, and we're thrilled to move on from there. Paraphrasing. 11:51 remaining in the first. Wisconsin by 1 with the ball. Ethan Happ has had the hot hand early. 6 points on 3 for 4 shooting.
It's going to be interesting to see how Greg Gard spells Ethan Happ from time to time, because he's going to have his hands full down in the post defensively.
As you say that, Isaac Haas swats the ball away from Happ on the offensive end.
Well, and right there, Nigel Hayes needs to take the dribble over. You need to dribble over, at least take 1 dribble to the wing. Ethan Happ has position. Take the dribble over, feed the post, and allow him to do some work on Isaac Haas as well.
Jordan Hill will check out. Bronson Koenig back in. Iverson to inbound. 12 on the shot clock. Happ taking Haas off the dribble. Gets down low and up with a left hand for 2 more.
Well, they want to travel here. He does a good job. Keeping his feet, holding his pivot foot.
He's got 8 first-half points. Vince Edwards will find Johnny Hill. The lob to Haas and a one-handed emphatic dunk. Angry at that rim.
I tell you what, if you're going to have Ethan Happ cover Isaac Haas and A.J. Hammonds one-on-one ISO in the post with no backside help and no double, not only is it going to lead to dunks, it's going to get Ethan Happ in some foul trouble and wear him out.
15 to shoot for Happ and the Badgers. And Happ skips it out to Showalter. Crowd wanted to travel, and Showalter gets the 3.
That one they may have almost had they may have an argument on that one. We'll take a look at it. Does seem to drag his foot a little bit. But Ethan Happ has been the catalyst to this offense to start.
Davis on the drive. He'll go to the line for a pair. Well, Ethan Happ, what a difference 2 months makes.
Oh, I mean, you understand, he's also a lot more confident than he was December 29th to start Big Ten play. He's comfortable. He's also got a little swagger to him. He may not show it in the way he's not going to have that demonstrative mentality, but he has swagger when it comes to an ISO opportunity in the paint. He feels as if he can take it against anybody.
One more for Rayfeld Davis after the first foul on Bronson Koenig. Charlie Thomas and Vito Brown on the floor for Wisconsin. Iverson and Happ. And here's the breather for Happ right now at the 10:28 mark.
When you look at it, can you get him down to the under 8 timeout and through the under 8 timeout? That's a good break for Ethan Happ. Just have to remember, he is working hard.
Davis out. Ryan Klein, the sharpshooter from behind the arc on the floor.
I think people at home don't really understand. We get to come to shoot around when we stand next to these guys. You stand near Isaac Haas and A.J. Hammonds. They're absolute monsters. Isaac Haas is 280-plus pounds. So to go against that, even if you're 7 foot, it's still going to be a drain.
Skip into the corner. Showalter open, a little bit strong. There's the rebound to Nigel Hayes. Finds Koenig for 3, and the second time for Wisconsin. Nets 3, this time for Bronson Koenig.
Best place to look on an offensive rebound is the three-point line. They did just that and got Bronson Koenig an open look.
4 for 7 from 3 for Wisconsin. Hill looking baseline, nothing there. Mathias backs it out to Hill. He'll try the 3. Swanigan tipping the rebound, but it's going to be scooped up by Charlie Thomas.
It's going to appear as if every defensive rebound the Badgers get is going to be hard fought, and it's going to be earned.
Double comes to block Hayes off. What a double it was. Swanigan and Haas. Koenig jumps the pass to Showalter for 3. And Mathias with the board for Purdue. 5-point Wisconsin game. Here's Mathias trying to turn that one around. The rebound tipped out to Hayes. Koenig, the deep 3. And the long rebound to Ryan Klein.
That's something Greg Gard has said. He likes the fact that they're looking to take quicker shots, good shots in transition. He wants to be able to play that way. You see yet another good post feed. That's textbook. You get the defender on your shoulder. The opposite hand becomes the target hand. Great entry pass. Isaac Haas has good hands, keeps it high and finishes.
Well, what great position he got before that pass came in, too.
Once he gets position, it's hard to fight and get back around him. It's ridiculous.
Saying he's not giving up that real estate?
No. He is real estate.
Deep 2 for Nigel Hayes is good. He's perfect from the floor. 9 points in the first half for Hayes.
His jump shot looks really good. And his jump shot is something that he's been teetering with since the start of this season. He wants to be able to get shots off quicker because his position at the next level would be more of a 2-3. That looks like a good shot.
There's Haas stripped by Koenig. Ripped it right out of his hands. Koenig going the other way. 5th turnover for Purdue. Thomas backs it out to Hayes with a ball fake. Now the skip to Brown for 3. And the ball movement by Wisconsin gives the Badgers their largest lead at 8 and a Purdue timeout.
Purdue, Matt Painter not happy at all. He felt like that was a foul down in the post. And Mackey Arena is going nuts.
Can't start it much better than Nigel Hayes has started tonight.
Nigel Hayes has been so good because he's got jump shots to fall. If he gets the jump shots to fall, it's only a matter of time until he gets to the basket and eventually ends up right there at the foul line. Nigel Hayes has been terrific to start this game. 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. You've got him on your first team All-Big Ten team. Yeah, he has to be. Look, what this team has done, and he's a leading scorer. He also controls offensive opportunities by getting to the foul line. You look at the rest of this group: Yogi Ferrell, Denzel Valentine, Jared Uthoff, A.J. Hammonds. That is a starting 5. I would take over anybody out there. P.J. Thompson will bring it up. Purdue down by 8. And that's a tough one, too, because there's a lot of great players in this conference. To pick this 5, you're automatically leaving somebody out. The 3 is good. Off the timeout, P.J. Thompson with a big bucket for Purdue. Well, that's a guy that may get open shots. If they double down with a guard, it's likely going to be off for P.J. Thompson. You're not going to leave Dakota Mathias or Ryan Klein.
Showalter around the screen. Good screen set. Showalter rolls for the easy two.
Oh, you got to cut that off. You can't allow off of a ball screen someone to just turn the corner and get into the paint. You have A.J. Hammons, biggest guy on the floor, chasing the play. You come off, cut that off, hedge it hard.
Thompson looking for Hammons, couldn't get it to him. Now Swanigan against Brown. 12 to shoot. Purdue trying to find a good look. Here's Hammons, tough catch against Happ. The little turnaround hook rolls off, and there's going to be a foul on this end. It'll go underneath against Khalil Iverson. That'll be his first. Let's go back to the other end.
On the other end, you got to play defense early. A.J. Hammons needs to cut this off. If he gets up and cuts that off, Showalter can't turn the corner and get to the basket. If he also cuts it off, it's just going to force Wisconsin to throw the ball back out, reset their offense.
Nigel Hayes returns as Khalil Iverson will sit down after his first foul. Team foul number 3 on Wisconsin, just 1 so far on Purdue. Swanigan the handoff to Thompson. Physical play down low with Happ trying to get position. Swanigan going to work on Brown. Banging his way inside, and Swanigan working hard to get the 2.
I mean, that was a blue-collar basket. Nothing really pretty about it, no up and under. He just worked his way down into position to be able to get that left shoulder right hook.
Chisel into stone, just chip, 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 and finally gets up there to get the 2.
And he's certainly going to do it. Caleb Swanigan's got a lot of upside and potentials there. He's going to develop more post moves. See Vito Brown, not really one of the things he does.
Hammons got in the way of that one. As Thompson wide open for 3. What ball movement. What a look from Mathias, and Purdue within 2. To shoot for Wisconsin. Hayes driving, rejected by A.J. Hammons. Purdue looking for the tie or the lead.
You gotta like the big fella doing what he does best is defend, protect the rim, and you get out in transition. P.J. Thompson finding a little confidence from 3.
P.J. Thompson entered tonight shooting 34% from the floor in his last 9 games. How about tonight? 4 for 4 from 3, and he's given Purdue the lead.
So much for what I was saying early. Maybe you double off of P.J. Thompson, giving him wide open looks. He's shooting the ball very well. He's got great looks, sharing the ball good and well in transition. And this crowd has absolutely erupted. They were so loud that I didn't even talk to the last time out.
I thought you were talking. We just couldn't hear you. And Hayes throws it away. The problems continue for the Badgers as Purdue on an 8-0 run, forcing the turnover.
I mean, this is where you have to settle in if you're the Wisconsin Badgers. Remember, what makes you good is you don't beat yourselves. If Purdue's going to make shots, if Purdue's going to go on a run, that's what they do. Look, Purdue's a top 20 team. They're going to make runs. They're going to hit shots. You as Wisconsin just have to continue to stay the course. Stay in your lanes. Don't beat yourselves. Take the opportunities that come your way.
They're 16-1 at home this year, and you can hear why. This place is packed and loud. Hammons working against Happ, trying to extend the lead, and he does. 9 for A.J. Hammons. The lead grows to 3.
Happ got a little frustrated with himself, but I want to tell him there's nothing you can do about that. That is a great move by a pro.
Purdue's hit 6 of their last 7 from the floor. A 10-0 Purdue run as Brown launches and hits the 3 to tie it and break the run.
That's a great answer because Vito Brown got himself set. He got ready to catch, receive the pass, stepping into the shot, And all he had to do was elevate over P.J. Thompson.
It's 3 for 3 from behind the arc is Brown. Double comes on Hammonds. Hammonds in some trouble, finds Thompson. The lob knocked away. Turnover number 6 for Purdue. Koenig into the paint. Blocked off by Swanigan. Here's Happ going baseline. Gives it up. Iverson to the rim. Won't go. Hammonds trying to clean it up, and it's out of bounds to Purdue. Tied at 34, 3:39 remaining in the first half. A.J. Hammonds going to work inside. Senior night in West Lafayette. And Hammonds stepping up big. Top 6 at the moment in the Big Ten Conference. The stakes in this one, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, the winner gets the double bye into the tournament. If Wisconsin wins, they're the number 3 seed. If Purdue wins, they're the number 4 seed. But either way, the winner of this game gets a double bye in the Big Ten tournament. Huge for both of these teams. If you can avoid playing one extra game, gives you an awfully good chance to win the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in this conference where everything is a grind. This regular season has beaten up on teams. I think, if anything, Indiana has done a good job getting better from game to game to the point where now they're playing the best competition. You saw what they were doing against Maryland today. What a terrific season.
Thompson trying to gauge Showalter, nothing there, and then a foul away from the ball. Happ banging down low with Hammonds, and Happ gets caught on this one. That'll be his first.
Again, the only way to cover A.J. Hammonds is to stay in position. That means as the ball goes to the other side, you cannot allow A.J. Hammonds to gain position by face cutting.
Our State Farm halftime report coming up. Mike Hall, Mike DeCourcy, Jess Settles. All the news and notes from the day. On the drive, Edwards can't get it to go. Happ pulls out the rebound. Happ run the floor. He is so talented. Happ goes end to end. Can't get the roll, and Swanigan the rebound. Now Thompson, the kick to Edwards, open look, and he finishes. For Edwards, and Purdue finding its range. 6 of 9 from behind the arc.
Yeah, they've done a great job making shots, but they've also gotten good looks, and that's something that can be said to the way the defense has to defend the big guys for Purdue.
Showalter trying to move Swanigan, and he's going to get the foul call on Swanigan. First on Swanigan, just the second team foul on Purdue.
And that's something that Wisconsin's got to look at. They've got to be more aggressive, trying to get back inside. Yes, you're not going to get a lot of fouls in one-on-one opportunities against A.J. Hammonds. He does a great job of blocking or contesting shots without foul.
Happ and Swanigan both sit down. Thomas off the inbound. Thomas looking inside at Hammonds, decided not to put it on the deck.
I'd like to see him get back to Nigel Hayes. I want to see what Nigel Hayes can do, whether inside or out, making some plays for his team as he knocks down that 3 right there.
What else would you like to see now that you're able to call your shot?
I didn't realize. I was like, what? Jeez.
I see Edwards launch a deep 3 at him. My, are we seeing some shooting in this first half from both of these teams?
The bottom line is you have to identify shooters. Wisconsin, the past couple possessions, have not done a good job identifying shooters in transition. This Edwards just stepped right into that one. Yes, a deep one. Still, easy shot.
Hayes going to work inside. The pass deflected. Hayes will get it back with 10 to shoot. Nigel Hayes working on Edwards. The turnaround fadeaway. Tough shot. And Hammonds the rebound.
It's a tough shot, but they need to vacate the post. They have 2 post players down on the block for Wisconsin, which means there's no space for Nigel Hayes to work.
A little space there as Thompson finds A.J. Hammonds, and Purdue stretches the lead to 5. 42-37, largest lead for the Boilermakers. To shoot for Koenig. Koenig with 4 on the shot clock, going to work against Edwards, and he got to the rim.
That was just a bad offensive possession, but a great play by Bronson Koenig.
Thompson got the open look. First miss from behind the arc. was 5-on-4 for a minute because one defender was on his back. State Farm halftime report coming up in seconds.
This is a tough lineup with Charlie Thomas in the game. Not to take anything away from Charlie Thomas, but A.J. Hammonds is just laying off. He's zoning up in the paint. And it looks like they're coming back with Ethan Happ. You get Ethan Happ back on the block as your sole post player. That is a much better lineup for the Badgers.
Gaining again. The three this time won't go. Hammonds with the tip of the rebound, and now Purdue can hold for the final shot. 7 seconds and counting for Thompson. Thompson, the three. Halftime is here. And Purdue takes its largest lead into the locker room.
Why not? P.J. Thompson, one heck of a first half. He got good looks. That's the thing. He found rhythm because he got himself good looks within the offense. But to close out the first half, he dials up his own number and just drains it.
What an entertaining first half. Both teams shoot over 55% in the first half. And at halftime, Purdue has the 6-point lead. Basketball on BTN is brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. Safe, sound, secure for 100 years. And by Rocket Mortgage, the fast, powerful, completely online way to get a mortgage by Quicken Loans. Purdue 45, Wisconsin 39 as we'll welcome you back to Mackey Arena for the start of the second half. Alongside John Crispin, I'm Kevin Kugler as we check out our Continental Tires first half stats. 2 top 20 defensive teams certainly showing up in the stats.
Oh, look, they're making shots. And 2 defensive teams that are doing a good job taking away initial options. But guys like P.J. Thompson, 5 of 6 from 3. That is certainly going to change how the Badgers play defense here in the second half.
Well, it has been a very entertaining first half. We hope for the same in the second half as we check our Auto Owners game leaders. P.J. Thompson, 15 points, as John mentioned, 5 of 6 from 3. And, of course, Nigel Hayes coming to play as he has a tendency to do.
I think Nigel Hayes has to get the ball early to start this second half. He can be incredibly effective. He has a chance to get ISO opportunities, whether play outside in or post-ups in the paint.
Wisconsin looking inside for Hayes. The ball tipped away, and Hammonds will scoop it up for Purdue. Third turnover for the Badgers as Thompson will bring it up. Hammonds, the handoff to Thompson. Edwards, nice little head and shoulder fake. The feed to Swanigan, and Swanigan walked with it.
I'll tell you what, though. Yes, Swanigan walks with it. You don't come away with 2 points, but that was a great offensive possession. Put a lot of pressure on the defense with a dribble weave. Vince Edwards able to get into the paint.
Gaining at 5 in the first half, brings it up for Wisconsin. Showalter, the bounce to Brown. Brown turns, wild shot, and a rebound and a foul. Vito Brown going after that loose ball. Picks up his first personal.
It's funny, players do this from time to time where you do things that are not really characteristic of you, and you do things that are out of your lane, and you lose confidence because it doesn't work. That's why you have to stay in your lane. You have to do what you do best, and for Vito Brown, that's just space. Spot up, catch and shoot, play good defense, finish around the rim. No need to force an issue trying to create a shot like that.
Davis. Out to Thompson. 8 on the shot clock. Swanigan, good position down low. The bucket and the foul.
If you watch that entire defensive possession, you would feel badly for how hard Alex Ilikanen had to work. He fought first. He was covering A.J. Hammonds. He kept the ball out of the paint. They swing it around. Then he ends up on Caleb Swanigan and doesn't have position, so Swanigan's able to abuse him.
Swanigan, he's got 7 as he makes his first free throw. The lead grows to 9.
I mean, there's only so much you can do. And there's a lot of Badger fans that like say, come on, don't let him get that catch. Well, your bigs are working awfully hard down there.
Ilikanen will feed Hayes. Skips it back. Ilikanen on the other side with the jumper. Good tip out by Happ, and then the ball trickles away, and Edwards has it on the sideline. Edwards going the other way, and oh my!
picks up the loose ball, goes in like he's going to lay it off to someone else and just throws it right down on Bronson Koenig. There'll be a poster made about that one.
Timeout taken by the Badgers. 2 minutes into the second half, and Vince Edwards with an emphatic start to the second half for Purdue. 5 straight points to start the second half for Purdue. They've opened up their largest lead at 50-39.
When you're down, and particularly on the road, you have to come up with every loose ball. You have to get down on the floor. Whatever you have to do, 50-50 balls have to be yours. If they're not, that can happen.
Our Duluth Trading hardest working player, Vince Edwards, 35th straight start tonight, and my goodness, did he elevate. 11 points and 3 rebounds already for Vince Edwards.
Him and Keita Bates-Diop in this league are two guys that I don't think realize how good they are. How good they are and how good they can be. Vince Edwards is more assertive offensively. He could be dominant.
He's been that over the last few games, averaging 14 points per game the last 3. Here's Nigel Hayes. Brown in the corner, and Vito Brown can't connect on the 3. Swanigan with the tip to Hammonds.
That's good defense. Purdue has really gotten comfortable locking in defensively. And first off, you have the advantage because you don't have to double Ethan Happ. You have A.J. Hammonds and Isaac Haas down there. No double is necessary.
Badgers had an 8-point lead with 7:44 to go in the first. Since that time, Purdue on a 29-10 run. Swanigan muscling his way inside against Brown. Good position, good hold by Brown. Swanigan with 2 to shoot, has to hoist the deep jumper, and he hits from 2.
Why not? Right? Why not? I mean, great defense by Vito Brown. Caleb Swanigan gets it back. Kind of a desperation heave, and it goes.
Boy, what a start to the second half for the Boilermakers. Showalter gets Wisconsin going from behind the arc. 8 for Showalter.
The issue, though, is offensively, Wisconsin doesn't seem to be doing what they were doing earlier in the first half, which is get the ball down low, play inside out. Get the defense to chase. It's been dribble, dribble, make a play for a teammate.
When's the last time Happ had a post touch?
And the tough thing is he's doing work down in the paint on the defensive end. If you don't see the reward on the other end, you eventually just lose it. He may not go crazy and kick a chair or anything, but you mentally get drained.
Koenig with his second, sending Swanigan to the line. 9 points tonight for Swanigan, 3 rebounds. He's 2 for 2 at the line. Swanigan getting a little bit better as this season wears on. No turnovers in the first half, and he's only had 8 turnovers in the last 5.5 games.
Well, I think he's done a good job utilizing space. He's shown the ability to shoot the 3 as he spaces out. The high-low is less of a congested pass, and that will be less turnovers for Caleb Swanigan.
Tough lob for Nigel Hayes. Defense collapsing. 8 to shoot for Vito Brown. Got into the paint. Pulls that one short. Hammonds clears it away. Swanigan, good position down low. Ball knocked out of his hands and out of bounds, staying with Purdue. Look at the help coming down low for Wisconsin. Timeout on the floor, 15:45 remaining in this second half. Senior night, and some of the stars shining bright for Purdue in this one. Boilermakers with a 12-point lead. You and I were talking with Jerry Palm at halftime off camera, and these are the seeds as of this morning that he has for the NCAA tournament. Obviously some work to do in the Big Ten tournament for those teams at the bottom, and Wisconsin with a chance to improve their stock in the NCAA tournament with a win or 2.
I think Wisconsin as a 7 seed would be incredibly dangerous. And then Michigan, yeah, you have a chance to win a couple games. Get yourself in that mix.
There's the Purdue resume. Some very, very impressive wins on there. 4 and 5 against the RPI top 50. Jerry Palm's got them as a 4. Do you like that spot?
I do. I mean, they're a dangerous team because of their size. And ultimately, it doesn't really matter as much in the seeding. It's all about matchups. It is all about matchups in the NCAA tournament.
Hammonds, the deep jumper, won't go, and half the rebound. All those projections from Jerry Palmer coming into today. Indiana got a big win over Maryland. If Purdue is able to hang on and beat Wisconsin, that will certainly bolster their stock as well.
I think people are done asking questions about Indiana. I think they've handled business enough. They won the outright Big Ten title. You can't beat them at home.
Knapp going to work inside against Hammonds, and Hammonds with a rejection. Second block for Hammonds. No-look pass from Thompson inside to Hammonds. Beautiful on both ends.
Wow, that was a great play by both A.J. Hammonds on the defensive end, P.J. Thompson, and A.J. Hammonds on the offensive side. Gets the block, runs the floor. P.J. Thompson playing with a lot of confidence right now. Showing the willingness to make a tough pass. Squeeze it through.
Inside, going to work against Hammonds, and that's what he was doing so effectively to start this game inside against A.J. Hammonds.
Well, he's got to be patient. He's got to settle. He's got to sit down. Let the defense move around him. Don't try to get shots up too quickly. A.J. Hammonds is too good blocker.
Happ into double figures now with 10. Purdue with that 12-point lead. Look at that. Swanigan down low against Brown is fouled. Vito Brown with his second. Let's go back to Hammonds a moment ago.
This is great position by Ethan Happ, but if you just settle, just understand, there's no way you can get that shot up. I mean, you're just being smothered. They did a great job running the floor. P.J. Thompson's got his eyes up, rewards the big man, and you know he's going to finish when he gets that deep.
First miss at the line tonight for Swanigan. Second miss for Purdue as a team. Jordan Hill on the floor for Zach Showalter for Wisconsin.
We haven't seen a lot of Jordan Hill. Only played 4 minutes up until this point, and he's a guy who brings in a little athleticism, can make plays. And under Bo Ryan didn't really play much at all. Greg Gard has done a great job developing him, and I think the development of Jordan Hill has really helped Bronson Koenig. Having a true backup point guard, there's times where you can play both of them, as you see both of them on the floor right now. Bronson Koenig can get the ball back in a better playmaking position.
That's one thing we've seen from Greg Gard versus Bo Ryan, as the drive to the rim by Happ won't go, but he'll go to the line for a pair. Starters' minutes are down because that bench has played a larger role under Greg Gard. They were about 81% of the minutes being played were by the starters at the beginning of the season. Coming into this one, it's 73, 74% of the minutes are played by the starters. That sounds small, that's pretty significant. One is good for Happ. Our hoops experts get you ready for the Big Ten tournament and examine how the events of the week in the Big Ten impact the national picture. Big Ten basketball and beyond tonight after the game on BTN.
You know, one of the keys to that is, you talk about bench minutes, is having guys understand what's expected of them and also where to go when they're on the floor. I mean, when you have more structure, young players understand what's expected of them and what their role is, not just on the floor, but with different lineups. And I think Greg Gard has done a great job in terms of establishing expectations, holding guys accountable, and rewarding them with minutes.
Haas, tough catch. Back out to Johnny Hill. Reposting as Haas against Happ. What a finish.
The repost after the pass out is where he made the basket. Yes, he turned left shoulder, right hook, and he finishes. But ultimately, it was when he kicks the ball back out, he establishes deeper position down in the post, at which point it's impossible to stop.
Both Hammonds and Haas have done a good job this year in developing the repost. Really just exploding down low. Happ working inside. Happ had that one knocked away, and a foul is going to be called.
That may have gotten away with the travel, but on the other end, you're going to watch. You're going to feed the post and watch. It's such a fight. He gets the ball on the kick out. He reestablishes deeper position. At that point, unstoppable.
One more for Happ. First miss tonight for Happ at the foul line. He was 2 for 2 before that one.
At some point, fatigue really settles in, and the work he's having to do on the defensive end, trying to even score against Haas and Hammonds, is kind of grueling as well.
Well, I can't even imagine. You're working down there against Hammonds. You're getting worn out.
Yeah.
Here comes a fresh 7'2" guy on the floor.
Yep. Monsters.
Jumper good. Hill. First two of the night for Hill, and Purdue stretches the lead again to 14.
Purdue's done a great job. I should say the Purdue guards have done a great job. When they get helped off of, they have made jump shots. There's P.J. Thompson in the first half, and then Johnny Hill doing just that.
68% shooting for Purdue. Wisconsin shooting 51%. It's not like they've come in and struggled. My goodness. As Koenig will launch, the Hayes tip won't go. Nigel Hayes staying with it, and Hayes gets the bucket and the foul. Haas can't believe that he got that foul, and Hayes will go to the line trying for the three-point play.
Watch Nigel Hayes' eyes. He pump fakes, and he really identifies Isaac Haas. He sees exactly where he is. We can't see his eyes there, but just trust me on it. He looks back. He understands exactly where Isaac Haas is. Yes, that's a foul. Can't drop your hands. At that point, it's about timing, and a guy like A.J. Hammonds has perfected the timing of blocking shots. He doesn't drop his arms. He just elevates and blocks the shot on the backboard.
How much of that comes from the timing that Nigel Hayes has in understanding how to draw that foul?
Yeah, Nigel Hayes is terrific at drawing fouls. He knows exactly where his arms are, and he goes right into it.
15 now for Nigel Hayes. Wisconsin within 11. Looking for a defensive stop against a red-hot shooting Purdue team.
And I would feed it right down low to Isaac Haas. And that's a trap.
And give Jordan Hill some credit. Came over on that front side and forced Haas to stumble a little bit.
Well, Jordan Hill came down, applied a little pressure, but Ethan Happ also pulled the chair on him a bit. And the big fella, that's something he's going to continue to develop, better and better footwork to be able to counter someone pull the chair on. How you defend those two guys.
Here's Happ working baseline. Haas smothering him down low, and the shot won't go. It's like putting a blanket on a fire. There's just nothing that you can do down there. Ball knocked out of the hands of Davis, and a foul is called. Timeout on the floor, 11:49 remaining in the second half. Purdue with the 11-point lead. For the Purdue Boilermakers, an 11-point lead, and Purdue doing some work.
They're doing some work, and it started with P.J. Thompson was 5 of 6 from 3 in the first half. I mean, just dialing his own number, but he also did a great job sharing the basketball, and that is exactly why A.J. Hammonds and P.J. Thompson are our Reese's perfect combination.
Why wouldn't they be? 28 points and 7 rebounds combined, and by the way, 11 of 15 from the floor for those two.
Yeah, we didn't have to sell that one. That's an easy choice right there. Those two have had a terrific evening. That's why you're sitting on an 11-point lead. I just hope this crowd stays into it for the Boilermakers. Wisconsin will make a run. Without a doubt, Wisconsin will make a run. They keep themselves in games. They're going to give themselves a chance to win this. Crowd's got to stay into it.
Going to need some stops defensively. Purdue shooting 68% from the floor, 6 of 7 in this second half as Davis can't hit the first one. Purdue really sharing the ball. 18 assists on 23 made field goals.
I mean, that is a key statistic. Unselfish play, but ultimately taking what the defense gives you, in some way, taking what the defense takes away. Instead of forcing the issue down low, understanding if you do take it away down low, we'll kick it back out, let our guards make plays.
Showalter with Mathias on his hip, goes by him. The trickle into the corner to Jordan Hill. That three won't go. Happ with the offensive rebound.
Good defense.
Happ on the baseline with the reverse. That one's short, and Haas rips down the board. Hill leaves for Mathias. Good job by Showalter to pop out. And now Purdue will reset. Nearly with the steal. Johnny Hill with 8 to shoot. He'll launch. A long rebound to Nigel Hayes. Nobody right on him, so he ran out. There's a travel. Crowd's been looking for the travel all night long here at Mackey Arena on Ethan Happ. That's why you're hearing the loud applause right now for that call.
They're actually up on their feet for this. They're standing up and applauding the travel. Yeah, look, it was a travel. Way to go. They blew the whistle. They called it. It's all right. I think it's going to be tough. Right now, Purdue has been so good defensively. I'm not sure where the offense is going to come from. I'd like to see Nigel Hayes get the ball and let him make a play. I think that's your best option right now, and change how they have to defend it.
A tough play inside, and Hammonds with a good catch, the finish, and the foul.
Vito Brown's looking around saying, where's my help? We've got to have help. Look, it's a combination of ball pressure and backside help. You've got to apply ball pressure to make that a difficult pass. And then Jordan Hill's got to be down on the backside to take that away if Vito Brown's going to be playing three-quarter front over the top. Sounds really easy, too. Just play backside help. It's easy. Take that away. But the teams that have done it well, Illinois, Butler, they win.
Senior night for Hammonds, 15 points. And it'll stay at 15. The rebound saved back into play by Edwards. And now Edwards for three. Koenig with the board.
We had shown it earlier where 50-50 balls are going to be the utmost importance for Wisconsin. They've got to come up with everything. Every rebound, every loose ball, they've got to come up with it. Give themselves a chance to get back in this game.
Thomas left alone. Hayes for three, and the rebound by Hammonds. Where do you go right now? Wisconsin's missed 6 of their last 7 shots. How do you find offense?
That was a good shot. That's a good shot. You have to be pleased with that. I'm not sure that was. Although I love it. I love a one-legged fadeaway. Maybe in my men's league, but not out here in the Big Ten.
Hammonds loves it. Gives him a chance for another rebound.
He wants the ball. I would happily give it to him.
7 rebounds for Hammonds. Back out to Edwards, and now back down to Hammonds, and a foul's called. Charlie Thomas, the freshman, working against A.J. Hammonds in the first on Thomas.
Yeah, Charlie Thomas is going to be a very good basketball player, but he's going up against A.J. Hammonds, who has all the experience in the world. Did a great job reposting down there, establishing position to the point where if your defender's on your back, the only thing you can do is run.
Why is Hammonds better this year than he's been at any point in his career? Is it just the experience factor?
No, I think he's been pushed. There is competition on the bench, and it comes in the form of 7'2", 285-pound Isaac Haas. If you have someone who's going to motivate you, push you, look, competition is the greatest motivator in this sport. Why? Because we have big egos, and we have a ton of pride. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what makes you really good as an athlete. I said we. I don't mean I have a big. Oh, I'm saying players.
Your Twitter handle is Big Ego Crispin. Log on and find it.
You know what, though, and there's truth to this. Sometimes the things that make you difficult as a person, maybe an ego and insecurity, make you very good as an athlete.
10 to shoot for Hayes and Wisconsin. And it's taken away. Good throw to Mathias with the intercept ahead to P.J. Thompson. Thompson had his pass tipped away. Nigel Hayes comes up with it. Good decision by Jordan Hill. Finds Showalter down low, and Zach Showalter with the easy two.
It's a great find by Jordan Hill. I was about to say great transition defense, getting back, taking away an easy opportunity. But the rest of your teammates have to follow suit. Not everyone got back. That's why they gave up a layup.
Hammonds deep against Happ. Back out to Thompson, open three. And Happ the board. Thompson hit his first 4 from behind the arc tonight.
But as crazy as this sounds, you almost have to live with it.
Hayes driving in is fouled with 8:21 to go. We've talked about the bigs a lot tonight for Purdue for good reason, because they are the top 2 scorers in points per 40 minutes. And you say, well, what's the big deal about that? They don't play 40 minutes each. But that just shows you the effectiveness of these two guys in the middle for Purdue.
Well, it shows that there's no letdown when one of them comes off the floor. There's not another team in the country that has that type of production per 40 minutes from one single position. Those two don't play at the same time. So you take one out, you allow him to rest his legs, you bring somebody back in. I mean, shoot, Isaac Haas comes in, he's #1 on that list. So there is no letdown. If anything, there's a little bit of a pick-me-up.
Well, we talked about the impact that has from an offensive standpoint for those two, but what about on the opposing post that's trying to defend those guys? There's always a fresh 7-footer in there you've got to deal with.
Oh, Lord, there might be one guy on your team that you can trust to defend the post, but not two, not three. You deal with foul trouble, you're done. I like the press here.
And Wisconsin gets the turnover. Koenig attacking, gets to the rim, can't get it to go. Happ tips the rebound, but into the arms of Swanigan. And now a foul is going to be called. Koenig swatting at Swanigan.
It's okay, that's a good foul. The sense of urgency's there. You've got to have that here. 8-10 left. You're down 11 points. Pick up the pressure a little bit. Remember, hey, not to bring up the pass for Purdue. They're playing very well tonight. They have struggled with the pressure. They've struggled with the press, and if you can apply some pressure, get some turnovers, lead to easy baskets, it gets you back in this basketball game.
Phil Davis back in. Ryan Klein takes a seat. 8 fouls whistled against Wisconsin in this second half, 4 against Purdue. So Swanigan with a 1-and-1 and he'll get the bonus. Isaac Haas, our Motel sixth man, 6 points, 1 rebound, a perfect 3 for 3 from the floor. He's been red hot over the last 8 games. Came in 76 points in just over 100 minutes play.
Yeah, look, the numbers there don't really tell the story. How hard he works to get position in the post, he just wears on you defensively.
Touch into the corner for 3, and that's a huge jumper for Jordan Hill. What a shot from the corner, his first 3.
Good shot by Jordan Hill, but it all started with Ethan Happ on this side on the baseline. Ethan Happ did a great job identifying the passing lane. That was a skip pass, 1 extra pass to Jordan Hill, and it was an open shot.
Double team comes. Hammond's pushed back into the corner. Finds Thompson. Thought about it. Took it. Hit it.
Gotta have it. I thought he was going to miss when he double-checked that. He checked himself. Didn't think he wanted to shoot it. Comes back down with it and drains it. You have to take that shot to keep the defense honest.
Best game for P.J. Thompson. He's got 18 as the answer comes from Zach Showalter.
This game is not over, but for Wisconsin, you have to get stops. I do like the double, but you have to take away the first pass. And even probably the second pass. The second pass was the skip pass to P.J. Thompson.
Skip to Davis. Back up to Swanigan. He'll fire the 3, and he hits. Caleb Swanigan with the 3.
At that point, if you're Wisconsin, you got to toss your hands up. There's only so much you can do. Nigel Hayes did a good job when A.J. Hammond's in the post, but Caleb Swanigan, if he's going to make that, you're in trouble.
He's hit 20 of those this year. Nigel Hayes posting foul.
And that's exactly what I like to see for Wisconsin. You go into Nigel Hayes will somehow end up at the foul line. And Ethan Happ, you got to know Caleb Swanigan can make this shot. You got to close out. Little sense of urgency.
Basketball on BTN is brought to you in part by State Farm. We exist to assist. And by Country Mark, get more per gallon. Tomorrow night, we unveil all the conference award winners, find out who's the Big Ten Player and Coach of the Year, and learn which stars are selected to the all-conference teams. The BTN Live Basketball All-Conference Selection Show tomorrow at 6 Eastern on BTN. Here's John Crispin's year-end awards. Feel free to argue with any or all.
Look, I think it's tough to argue with these. Tom Crean's done a great job. They won the conference outright. They also had some really struggles earlier in the season. Denzel Valentine, no doubt. Ethan Happ, in my mind, he's just separated himself a little bit. A.J. Hammons for Defensive Player of the Year. And Ty Webster has been terrific. Doesn't get enough attention because the team's not winning enough games. But he's been terrific in Big Ten play as a 6th man. He started a couple games as of late, though.
One more for Nigel Hayes. He's got 18 tonight.
That's a tough one, too. I mean, you look at that, the first team awards, so many great players. And yes, Jared Uthoff's winning in terms of defensive blocks. You know, he blocks almost 3 shots a game, but A.J. Hammons changes the game.
Sure, applied and foul called. How much thought went into it? A lot of thought went into it with you, John, because that's always what goes into everything. But how much consideration went into Greg Gard as your coach of the year?
A ton. But at the end, What I figured is Greg Gard took over this program when they hit rock bottom. And that's not to take anything away, but you got kids at a point where there's nowhere to go but up. So they buy in and you gradually work your way up. And you can't take anything away, but Tom Crean from day one came in with really high expectations. They failed early. Ugly against Duke, UNLV, Wake Forest. And they have since turned things around to the point where you win the Big Ten regular season title. And you go out with a bang, beating Maryland, who is a very good basketball team.
So the third foul on Hammonds on the missed free throw. 10-point game, 6:28 to go. As you've said, this game far from over.
Absolutely far from over. Wisconsin still has a run. I want to see Nigel Hayes be the catalyst for their offense.
Knapp with the screen to free Koenig. A little bit strong. Oh, nice tip out by Showalter. Second chance now for Wisconsin on the offensive rebound. Here's Happ spinning on Hammonds, and a foul is going to be called.
That is a really good move. He took the arm bar that A.J. Hammonds, which you're allowed to do. You're allowed to apply the arm bar. But if you apply the arm bar, the offensive player can feel exactly where you are. Ethan Happ felt the arm bar, spun off of it. And that's why A.J. Hammonds ends up picking up that foul.
His fourth. That'll send him to the bench for the moment. As Matt Painter tries to save him for the stretch run.
With the smaller lineup right now, particularly at this moment where if Ethan Happ makes the foul shot, you got to expect pressure. But it's not too often you don't see a 7-footer on the floor for the Boilermakers.
Tough to miss the front end for Wisconsin. Points necessary here for the Badgers. Swanigan inside, and the foul is going to be called on Happ.
And I like the assertiveness of Caleb Swanigan. That's going to be 2 on Happ. But with no 7-footer on the floor, Caleb Swanigan is your back-to-the-basket post player. He got very aggressive there, fighting for position.
It's a 10th team foul, so Purdue will shoot 2 the rest of the way. Swanigan 6 of 8 at the line. Tonight he has 17 points. That's quiet 17.
Yeah, that was a sleepy 17. And that's not a knock, that's a compliment. Sometimes we say things people don't really understand what we're trying to say. A quiet 17, now 18 points. Just means you're going about your business. You're taking what comes your way. You're not forcing the issue. And he's done just that. He's made perimeter shots as well as back-to-the-basket moves.
Hayes with a little fake to get the 3 open, and that is a big jumper. They're going to look at that at the next timeout. They'll call it a 2 right now. They marked it over there to look at during the next dead ball.
It's a tough shot. If it doesn't go, it may look like bad offense, but I think Nigel Hayes has to be the guy. And you may have to take some tough shots down the stretch.
Edwards looking baseline. Swanigan banging against Happ, and a foul is called.
And that is Ethan Happ being tired. There's no way around it. That is just exhaustion. He has been fighting, and he's done a great job all game. But you see, you get tired, you stand up, and you put your hands on the man, and that's what you can't do. And again, there's nothing you can take away from the effort of Ethan Happ. I mean, that says it right there. He's exhausted. He's gassed.
How'd you like his job today?
No, I mean,
here's A.J. Hammonds. Here comes Isaac Haas. Right, these guys are off the floor. Now go work against a mountain of muscle in Caleb Swanigan.
And by the way, we need you to score against him in the post. Ethan Happ is terrific. I'll tell you, he's going to want to have one of the best careers in Wisconsin history. And I know there's been some guys before him that have done all right for themselves. But where he's at in his freshman year, he's above and beyond a lot of guys that finish at the height of their career just in the past couple of years.
Caleb Swanigan is Purdue's leading scorer tonight. He has 20 points. Now we've got a foul underneath as Thompson gets caught tangled with Nigel Hayes, and that'll put Hayes at the line for the 1-and-1.
Oh, and that's what the Badgers need. You need to stop the clock, get one of your best foul shooters to go to the foul line.
Wisconsin shooting just 35% in the second half, John, from the floor. Just not able to find that rhythm they had in the first. The stakes in this one, Wisconsin and Purdue playing for the double bye. The winner gets a double bye. If it's Wisconsin, they're the 3 seed. If it's Purdue, the 4 seed. And Hayes gets the home roll on the road.
And here you see the pressure. Let's see how Purdue can handle the pressure. You got to attack it. That's what you like to see.
And that's a travel.
I mean, look, he did everything right until he took too many steps. They were going to kick that thing ahead and attack the pressure. It would have been a 2-on-1 with P.J. Thompson. Yes, that's a travel. It's okay.
That's 2 turnovers forced by the press when Wisconsin has used it over the last 3 minutes.
And look, you have the 2 centers on the bench now for Wisconsin. Take advantage. Capitalize. I like the ISO here. Clear space.
Brown coming over to set the screen. Hayes attacking, driving, and gets to the line once more. Nobody does it better in this league, getting to the foul line.
I'll tell you, there's 2 of them in this league. The other one's Melo Trimble. Melo Trimble and Nigel Hayes do a great job of selling fouls with their head. And depends on who you're rooting for, whether this is a foul or it isn't. Hey, look, that's a foul. He jumps into him. Yes, he jumps into it. He creates the contact. He does such a good job selling fouls. And like I said, Melo does the same thing. They sell it with the head. They throw the head up, which helps get the call.
26 points for Nigel Hayes. Pressure applied again. Edwards. It's just a 7-point game right now.
It doesn't feel that way, the way Purdue has shot the basketball. That's a great 2-man game.
Swanigan with the kick out to Rayfeld Davis. Short on the 3. Vito Brown the rebound.
I thought Swanigan had to go up with that. That was a great 2-man game. Drop down for a layup. Swanigan just may not have had a good angle. It's easy for me to say. I'm sitting here courtside looking at a TV monitor.
Hayes can't get that one to go against Swanigan, and Swanigan the rebound. Flip ahead to Matthias in the corner. Edwards for 3. Oh, halfway down, it comes back up.
It's still a good shot. You have to continue to play to win this game. You can't play not to lose. Some people got that right away. Some people think about it for 5 minutes and figure out what I'm saying. Did you get it?
I'm still thinking.
All right.
Nigel Hayes driving. Won't get that one to go. The tip won't go. One more try won't go. Swanigan with the rebound and a foul.
Good effort by Nigel Hayes, but a great job defensively by the small lineup of Purdue.
Timeout on the floor. This one awfully close from Vince Edwards. The blow on the roof off Mackey Arena once more. Halfway down, hop back up. 9 Purdue, 3:43 remaining in the second half. Kevin Kugler alongside John Crispin. Our Quicken Loans amazing performance. How about 3 players that have made a major impact on this one for Purdue?
They have had good balance, and the balance I like is the inside-outside. You have guys that are knocking down shots from the outside, opening up easier opportunities for Caleb Swanigan and A.J. Hammonds, who have been terrific.
Hammonds, big smile on his face right now. His team trying to close out senior night with a win. And a reminder to you that the Purdue senior night ceremony, you'll be able to watch it BTN to go. Swanigan with 21 now, and one more free throw to come. The 2 free throws for both teams the rest of the way. As Swanigan steps up for one more. 11 for 13 at the line tonight for Caleb Swanigan.
The fact that he's gotten there 13 times is impressive. They get really quiet about it, too. Nothing crazy.
Pat back on the floor with 3.5 minutes to go in this one. Nigel Hayes attacking, driving, and draws. Nope, an offensive foul. The foul away from the ball.
I think they may get Ethan half on that.
And it is his 4th.
It's going to be on the illegal screen. Ethan Haff's got to be careful.
That pressure forces the turnover again, and they're going to call a kick.
This is where you have to look at where you're attacking this pressure. And the longer you hold the ball, the harder it's going to be to attack the pressure. You throw the ball in short corner, you know it's an immediate double. You're either going to go sideline, back under the basket to where the inbounder steps in, or back to the center. You have to understand what's going to be open and try to move the ball quickly. The quicker you move the ball, the easier it's going to be to attack it. I didn't see the kick on that.
I didn't either. I thought the Greg guard had a bit of an argument there.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but again, I'm only good when I get 3 looks at it in slow-mo. There you go.
Edwards, nice move, goes behind the back. Edwards shovels to Davis. Oh, what a job! Breaking the press and getting the 2.
That's what we said. That's what you got to do. You have to attack the press. You don't alleviate pressure by pinging it around. You attack the pressure. See Bronson Koenig. Quick shot, Nigel Hayes.
With a bucket and a foul.
Wow. We say, look, attack pressure. That means look to score. He goes down the sideline, around the back, lays it off to Rayfeld Davis, who apparently in the last time out, we learned that the glasses he wears are not real. That's not a prescription. It's for looks. Burned.
And Nigel Hayes with 27 keeps Wisconsin hanging around, down by 8.
Yeah, Nigel Hayes is justified being first teamer in my book.
Swanigan will back it out to Thompson. Purdue wants to take a little air out of the ball right now.
You take air out of the ball, but at the same time, be aggressive looking to score. As I say, play to win. Don't play not to lose.
Foul on Nigel Hayes. Second on Hayes. 2 more free throws coming for Caleb Swanigan.
Swanigan may end up with 30. By the time this game is over, he's going to be at the foul line quite a bit. He's shooting 2.
He's got 22 points and 7 rebounds tonight.
Maybe he'll get 25. I was ambitious.
Don't amend your prediction now.
I like the way both teams have played, though. Both teams have been very aggressive on the offensive end. I think defensively, they've done an admirable job. But Purdue has shot the ball particularly well, and Wisconsin, it's been tough. It's been Nigel Hayes having to make plays.
Hayes draws the contact and gets himself to the line once more. Chance to score with the clock stopped at 2:27 to go. And for Rayfeld Davis, that's his 4th.
Hey, you get paid by the hour, right?
Absolutely. This is great.
When you do
Keep
it,
going.
Nigel, yeah, when you do a Wisconsin and Nigel Hayes game, we might be here all night.
More to come for Nigel Hayes. 7.5 free throw attempts per game. He's got 12 tonight. 3rd most in a decade.
Well, the key there is you have to make it, especially down the stretch. Every basket's going to count.
A little English on that one.
Sometimes you got to get lucky.
That pressure again. Edwards steps through it, and Thompson now will put the brakes on. 2:15 to go. Purdue with the 8-point lead. DJ Thompson with 18 points. In to shoot. The feed down low to Swanigan, working against Happ. And Swanigan with 2 more. He's tied his career high with 25.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of people here, West Lafayette and beyond, that wear Boiler colors, that look at Caleb Swanigan and just say, I hope he's around for years to come, because he will be dominant in this league. Can you imagine Isaac Haas, Caleb Swanigan together for the next 2-3 years? Come on, 2 years.
Jordan Hill got a look. A little bit strong, and the rebound Matthias, and there is a foul on the floor. Hold on Swanigan. He had a piece of Happ. It'll be a Purdue foul that'll send Ethan Happ to the line.
And Ethan Happ earned that foul with effort. That is a hard fight down there with Caleb Swanigan. There's 2 players. These 2 guys, the future of the Big Ten down low. And a little combination of, yeah, body, but Ethan Happ does a good job locking his arm in there. That's a vet move. I'm sure Frank Kaminsky did that to him on a few occasions last year.
And the freshman from Milan, Illinois. one more free throw. He's got 14 points tonight. That's a hard-earned 14.
Yeah, it is.
Swanigan the rebound, and a foul is going to be called. Happ was trying to coach the jump ball call. Instead, Jordan Hill picks up the foul.
Everybody wearing red and white was trying to coach the jump ball call, but Caleb Swanigan doing a good job going up and getting it and just being strong with it. Definitely not a jump ball.
25 points, 8 rebounds. Best conference game of the year. He had 25 and 11 against Butler in the non-conference, and now a new career high for Caleb Swanigan in the final game of the regular season.
And he's doing this right now with A.J. Havins and Isaac Hasso on the bench. Clearly, Matt Painter's a little more comfortable with this lineup against the pressure.
27 now for Swanigan.
What did I say, 30?
You did say 30.
All right.
90 seconds to go. Wisconsin needs this to fall. It will not. Davis chasing it down in the corner. And Davis will push it ahead to Thompson. Thompson on the run. He's going to back it out. And then a foul on Bronson Koenig. Koenig with his fourth. And the folks in Mackey Arena start to sense win number 24.
Well, I think the folks at Mackey Arena also want to see A.J. Havins come back into this game so he can leave to a standing ovation.
Thompson with 19. It's his best game as well. Reminder that with a win, Purdue gets the double bye, and they clinch the number 4 seed. Wisconsin would be the 6th seed. So you go all the way from a potential 3 down to the 6.
Well, what's interesting is Wisconsin has already finished 4th or better yet again for the 16th straight season. Yet they'll be the 6th seed. There's just too much going on for them.
A large group right there in the upper portion of this conference that is going to make our Big Ten tournament very interesting next week. Purdue by 13 in a timeout. Going very much the way those folks wanted it to go. The senior class, look at the career games. Hammond's 127, Rayfeld Davis 126. Stephen Toira, who's already poised for vast amounts of success outside of the world of basketball. He's got his own real estate company. And Johnny Hill, the senior class, though, with a lot more basketball to play. Purdue's one of those teams that when you're looking at your bracket next week on Selection Sunday, keep an eye on who they get seeded against as Bronson Koenig gets the 3 and Wisconsin takes a timeout. 1:08 remaining in this second half. Purdue's lead is 10. 87-77. Purdue by 10. 1:08 remaining in the final Big Ten regular season game in our Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance game reset. 1 timeout left for Wisconsin, 2 timeouts left for Purdue. The possession arrow favors the Boilermakers, and each team into the double bonus.
Well, still a lot of times you can get a turnover, a couple made baskets, but also stop the clock, get to the foul line.
Pass ahead to Thompson, and there's the foul given by Jordan Hill. That'll send Thompson to the line, the 3rd on Hill.
At that time, they did a good job splitting the defense in the backcourt, getting the ball ahead. P.J. Thompson has been good with decision-making down the stretch. Granted, every time he dribbles into the front court, he's looking over. Matt Painter's telling him, pull it out.
We don't hear this very often, but that is 17 fouls this half against Wisconsin.
Yeah, you don't hear that much at all.
Our Hoops experts get you ready for the Big Ten tournament and examine how the events of the week in the Big Ten impact the national picture. Big Ten basketball and beyond tonight after the game on BTN. Mike Hall, Mike DeCourcy, Jess Settles. I believe they're running shell drills right now, getting set for that one. Look at you.
Here we go. Hung out at some middle school practices.
Absolutely. I read your book.
Right.
Hill kicks it out to Showalter. The air ball goes out of bounds. It'll belong to Purdue. 55.1 seconds remaining, and Purdue up by 12.
And A.J. Havins is going to check back in for the sole purpose of being able to check out. So is Johnny Hill. And yeah, you should cheer. You should cheer for A.J. Hammond's coming on. But you should also cheer for Caleb Swanigan, who just came off. He's had one heck of a game.
Yeah, Swanigan leaves with 27 points and 8 rebounds. So now the seniors
just better not turn the ball over right now. I'll tell you what.
Matthias. Here's Hill and a foul. Hill to Hill. Jordan Hill fouling Johnny Hill. And Johnny Hill with 2 points on senior night will go to the line.
And you can't say enough about what this means in terms of senior night. You see Stephen Toyer on the bench.
The crowd chanting, "We want Toira."
This is years and years of experience, hard work, dedication, not just as a basketball player, also as a student athlete. And what this crowd means to the kids, what the kids mean to the crowd, it is really a special occurrence.
Is this the point for these guys where it starts to sink in that this is the last time they'll play on this floor?
Yeah, maybe the last time you play on this floor, but ultimately they got bigger things in store. And that's the thing. You are always concerned about what's next. And for a competitor, you're also concerned about the next level. So it's hard to let the emotions get too much of you.
Johnson Koenig won't go. There's Hammonds with the rebound. Foul. 36 seconds to go. Thompson dribbling through traffic, and Wisconsin looks like they have conceded that this one's going in the loss column.
Yeah, and look, if you shoot the ball as well as Purdue has, as you see Stephen Toira.
Don't forget our senior night coverage from Purdue is on BTN to go after the game. Taken away by Jordan Hill.
You know,
and that should not have been stopped. I'm not sure why they stopped it. Because he stole it.
It should not have been stopped, but Jordan Hill should have known what's going on.
Right.
What's going on is you're trying to get your senior into the game and give up a shot instead of taking a shot, which they could have easily taken a shot.
And now here come the substitutions onto the floor, and there's Stephen Toira. 10th game in his senior year. Gets out there on senior night. Cool moment here at Mackey Arena for those three seniors.
Yeah, it really is a special moment. I mean, these guys have been through a lot of success, and look, there's still a lot to go. Well, this is a team with an incredibly high ceiling. I don't think we've seen them play as good as they can play yet. They shot the ball very well today, and that's why you see them scoring 91 points.
We're checking the clock right now at the scorer's table. The shot clock had not run out when the steal came from Jordan Hill.
Yeah, I think if Jordan Hill understands what they're trying to do, then yes, he won't steal that. I don't mind. Look, guy's a competitor. Right. He doesn't want to go out like that. So I don't fault him for that in any way.
At the end of the day, it's not going to make much of a difference as far as the outcome of this game. Purdue is going to get themselves a double bye into the tournament. Wisconsin is going to be the 6th seed and get the single bye.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that the officials blew the whistle, too.
So Hill will inbound with 12.7 seconds to go. Koenig with the three. A little bit strong. There's Jordan Hill with the rebound. The three up and good for Hill. So he gets the three that he hit with the inadvertent whistle. Inbound comes, and that is going to wrap up senior night in a big way for the Purdue Boilermakers as they defeat Wisconsin 91-80. They clinch the number 4 seed and the double bye in the Big Ten tournament. Big night tonight for Purdue on the inside. Swanigan with a career-high 27. B.J. Thompson with 22. His best game, 16 for Hammonds. And there is the first look at the Big Ten tournament starting on Wednesday. The bracket is set. Purdue, by virtue of their win, gets the 4 seed. They will not play until Friday. Wisconsin on Thursday night gets the winner of Nebraska and Rutgers. That is our debut game on Wednesday night on BTN. Don't forget, senior night coverage from Purdue is on BTN to go. You can check out all the activities of senior night on BTN to go coming up in just a little bit when our coverage ends on BTN. Big night for Purdue, their 24th win, just the 13th time in 117 years of Purdue basketball that they've won 24 games. John Crispin standing by with the victorious head coach.
Coach, senior day, I know so much goes into this. How does it feel to get these guys a win to go out?
Well, it was a great win for us. I thought our seniors did a great job of setting the tone for us. P.J. Thompson was great in the first half. We were struggling to stop him, and he made some huge shots for us and kept us in it, and obviously gave us a lead going into the second. But our seniors have been great for us. They've been great leaders and really worked hard.
I think everybody in this conference, even in the country, knows now that the ceiling's extremely high. Sky's the limit for this team. What do you have to do to get the best out of them?
Well, I think for us, we got to be better defensively. I thought tonight we did a better job of taking care of the basketball. We obviously scored it. We've really shot well here the past couple of weeks, but we got to do a better job of guarding and keeping the ball in front of us.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Best of luck next week in Indy.
Purdue did shoot it well tonight, 62.2%, their best in any game under Matt Painter, and what a night to have their best shooting performance under the head coach Painter. Take a timeout from Mackey Arena. Big Ten basketball and beyond is coming up next. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Big Ten Network. For John Crispin and our outstanding BTN crew, I'm Kevin Kugler saying good night from West Lafayette. Big Ten basketball and beyond coming up next.